I teach in the theology department, primarily ministry majors, and that's my background. I served in the church for 13 years before coming here. And so hands-on ministry is where all the pieces come together for me. And so I think about that question through that filter of ministry. So what does it mean to live out truth in the context of ministry? And then to kind of connect that back to life, I think we could live very neat and tidy lives as Christians. We could be followers of Jesus. We could, sleep 8.5 hours a night and get up and do our thing and stay home and live very simple, tidy lives. And I don't think that allows the truth to really be a part of us, because I think God calls us to live with the example that we've been given. And God didn't stay neat and tidy. God sent part of God's own self down to live with us. God sent Christ to earth, and it wasn't neat and tidy. It was very messy, the way Christ came to live and to serve and to be with us. And so I think that's our model for ministry and for life, that we can't be content with neat and tidy lives, that we need to allow the realities of the world, the needs of people, to enter in and make our lives a little bit messy. Being type A, being a little OCD, that it's so easy for me to gravitate to that, to just be simple. And God continually says, no, that's not what I've called you to do. So I think living truth is responding to the example that we've been given in the incarnate Christ, that Christ came down and lived with people and met people where they were in the messy realities of life. And so I think the best places where I live out truth are where I do that, where I let my life become messy because I am responding to the needs of people around me as Jesus would. Because I think my relationship with Christ would be very shallow if I didn't. I think God meets us in those deep places when we're willing to wade in the waters. That was my illustration when I spoke in chapel last semester, just wading. And it's been my life illustration, that continually God calls me to wade into places that are scary, overwhelming, places where I feel ill-prepared, and God says, go anyway. And when you're in there, I'll give you what you need. And continually God does. And so I feel like that's my step of faithfulness in our relationship, that I will step out because I'm called to. It's made it messy. That's the honest truth. But with the messiness comes the depth, and so it's a package deal. So if I want to grow, I have learned that I need to accept those rabbit trails in life that God calls me down, or the places where God calls me to go, maybe outside of my normal path, or just the people that God calls me to enter in with. I don't think it's a moment of epiphany. I think it's an ongoing process. Right now, living with my foster kids is one of the ways I'm responding to messy reality of life, entering into this family that is so complicated. And there are pieces of it that are so hard every day, and I'm ready to be done. And so in that moment, is there a great epiphany of truth? No. Moment to moment, sometimes it's just about survival. But I think when I step back and look at the bigger picture, it is the best way that I know how to follow authentically and to live truthfully, because it's the way Jesus lived.